Well, what's up, fellas and fillettes? Good to see everybody. Welcome to Gabbin and Games. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. It is the 18th of March, and we have video games, my dear friends, to discuss. Let us begin. Got to get a little of the bubbly. What's going on, fellas? It's nice to see everybody. Now, let's take these off. We don't need these right now. Welcome to the show. I've timed it in such a way that at 3 o'clock, we will be getting the embargo lifted from Crimson Desert, which means cool, man. I'm thinking somebody in the chat said they're guessing like a 7.5. I think that seems about fair. I think there's going to be a lot to be excited about with this game. There's going to be a lot of special stuff when it comes to systems and the open world, and especially on PC, the graphics. But I also feel that there's probably going to be a little bit too much jank to push it into the realm of best and biggest games of all time. But we'll see. We'll see in less than an hour what the critics think, and then come tomorrow morning, I think either at 9 o'clock tonight, California time, or tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. California time, we can all decide for ourselves. I'm kind of waiting for the reviews. I've got about 5 games I'm trying to finish, but if the world is raving, I'll pick it up. If it does hit around a 7 or an 8, I'll probably wait to finish Yote and RE9 at the moment, but we will see. It's nice to see everybody. We will talk a little bit more about DLSS5. Not much. There ain't much more to say. I will tell you that it is important to, what's the word? It is important to recognize the fact that, yes, there are people that are upset with the technology, but most people really won't care. And I really honestly just wish Twitter would shut the fuck up. I wish they'd shut up and stop talking to me. But we'll find out. All right. PK says that Crimson Desert should be coming in around a 90 with all the footage shown. Just wait and see. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Frankly, I don't really hope it's bad, but I hope it's bad just from a standpoint of I'm so goddamn busy. The last thing I need is another must-play game because you know I'm going to play it. Nicholas, are you talking about the embargo or are you talking about the game? Are you saying the game goes on sale tomorrow at 3 p.m.? Because I know the embargo lifts today at 3 p.m., but it could be both. It could be both. K-Nubs, it's a good point. He says, how this game performs is going on the base PS5 is going to inform my choice whether to buy a Pro. Well, we already know how it performs on the PS5. I'm going to show you some footage in just a second. Orobsky says, hey, Colin Moriarty showed interest during Last Stand Media's latest stream of Chris and Dustin playing Marathon. He says he wants to see them playing Ark. I foresee Colin getting hooked on it. Thoughts? I have no idea. I know that he is not historically into multiplayer games, and I did not, I only gave Marathon a handful of rounds and I backed out of the server slam. I'm not hardcore enough to really learn how to play it and get good at it. So it's not for me, but I will say that the Ark Raiders game I was absolutely addicted to, and I adore that game. So, and I'm usually not an extraction guy either. So it could absolutely get him hooked on that genre, or certainly at least that game. So, Jaffe, did you use AI in the thumbnail? Of course. What I started realizing was I could take my thumbnails that I make in Canva, and one of the things that I really am not very good at when it comes to art, but there's a lot of things, is sort of color and making things pop and everything. So I take that and I put it into, I put one into Gemini, one into chat. I have them both do it, see which one I like better. And I say, just make this, keep the gist of it, but make it more clickable. And this is what they come up with. So yes, I have zero shame in using AI, frankly. I'm really just so over the obnoxious virtue signaling of people who are bitching about AI. In fact, there's an actual video game artist talking about DLSS5 in just a second, that we will talk about. KP says, I did try Ark Raiders. It was fun. I could see why people are into it. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's a wonderfully welcoming game. I always called it, when I was playing it and spending a lot of time with it, the the blizzardification of extraction shooters, because it really does feel like they went out of the way to make it very, very user-friendly and welcoming. Do you like aggression-based matchmaking in Arc Raiders? Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it much since they've really ramped that up, but one of the things I love about Arc Raiders, here's what I'll say. I do not like in Arc Raiders where if I never kill anyone, I'm never going to be matched with people who don't ever do PvP. Because one of the things I found insanely compelling in the first month of Arc Raiders is the fact that you really have that tension whenever you meet someone, you don't know how it's going to go down. And now that they're starting to say, we're going to put the hooligans who like the PvP in their own little silos, I worry that it might take away some of that tension, which I think is just so deliciously, wonderfully Arc Raiders. So I don't have enough experience to determine with their new aggression matchmaking how much you lose in the way I would play. But I haven't played in a long time, so I do want to go back at some point. I came back in to see their hurricanes, because you were fighting in hurricanes recently that still may be going on. I thought it looked really, really cool, but I've been busy with other games trying to finish other games. I don't care if the thumbnail is distressing. Relax, bruh. Don't care. Don't give a fuck. I like AI. I think it's fun. I think it's neat. I think it gives people like me who aren't very creative the ability to focus on what we are good at while still being able to compete in terms of getting eyeballs on your thumbnails. Don't give a fuck. I think we need universal basic income. I think unregulated capitalism is a goddamn nightmare. And I think there should be laws in place to protect the artists from which the data has been stolen. But that doesn't negate the fact that I also think once those things are in place, it's a goddamn cool tool and I'm a fan. Okay. Well, shit, Jaffe, why didn't you post it in your Discord? Post what in the Discord? I did post that this was live, didn't I? Why don't you just get creative? Because I'm doing this. This is my creativity at this point. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend hours tinkering. My creativity at this point in my life is how I talk to the audience, how I find stories, how I break stories down to talk with you, to you about those stories. That's where I put my energy. I do not care about being a fine artist. I don't care about color wheels. I don't care about composition. I don't give a fuck. And in the past, I would have paid somebody to do it. Now I don't have to. Welcome to the future, boys. But I want to be an artist. Don't care. That's a you problem. Figure it out. Be good enough as an artist. And when I say be good enough, I mean be creative enough. How many fucking YouTube channels or Instagram channels exist where people do the most photorealistic shit with the pencil? No one cares. No one cares. It's impressive. I ain't paying for it. And you ain't paying for it either. And you know it and I know it. So stop pretending, I want to draw my furry characters and have people pay me to make their avatars. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I wanted Drawn to Death to do really well, but guess what? It didn't. Huh. Welcome to life. Welcome to the game, babies. You signed up for it. I didn't sign you up. That's a you problem. Shit's going to go south. It's going to go north. You got to buckle in and go for the ride. So you people can't bitch if God of War uses DLSS5 because the creator doesn't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Here's what I would give a shit about, and we're not going to spend too much time. We did a whole stream on DLSS the other night, but here's what I would give a shit about. That if it turned out that the team could not have control over it and say we want it or we don't, and if it turned out for whatever reason the user could not turn it on or off, then I would have a problem with it. Then it would be like back when I was like an early teenager, when like Ted Turner, media mogul, would get black and white movies and go, you know what people want? They don't like the black and white. They want them in color, and they would color the movies and they'd look terrible. Or they would say, nobody likes the widescreen format. Let's stretch it out so it fills the whole TV show so people aren't worried that their TV screen's busted and they're not seeing the whole picture. And then I would say to that, okay, that's a problem because it's limiting what the creatives wanted and it's taking that away without their consent as a sellable product. And there aren't any other options. Well, that's not what we're talking about. Just turn it off. Just turn the fucking thing off. Yeah, Real Cool Water says, I 100% agree with Jaffe, and more likely AI is going to take my job in a year or two. Time to pivot. That's life. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Daxter Miller comes in hot with the super chat. Why can't you guys be more like your brother Daxter? He says, Jaffe, I don't hate AI upscaling. I do think that the fact that DLSS removes all features of what the character model was is disrespectful to the creator. I don't understand that you're removing all features. Let's just go to that real quick before we'll come back to the other news. But let me just read you this. Or show you this. Two things really struck me this morning. This guy is Georgian Aviskal. I'm not going to even pretend, but he's a senior character artist. And he's done, I'll show you his tweets. So you get a sense of, his level of skill. He's the real deal. He knows what he's doing. Let's go to his ArtStation thing and take a look. I don't know if I have an account here, but I'm sure I can see it. All right. So the guy he talks the talk. He walks the walk. He knows what the fuck he's doing. Okay. So here's what he has to say about the old humdinger of DLSS5. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but he says, after the whole debate, I've come to the conclusion that most of the people talking about it are completely unaware of what they don't know. They're on the peak of ignorance and don't even grasp how little they understand. He continues, they just heard generative AI and like Pavlov's dog, they just start drooling, thinking it's the same shit as unethical slop image generators. For the love of Christ, go and educate yourself before raging on the internet for no reason. Again, this is a guy who makes this. There's a good chance he's a lot better at this than you are and a lot more experienced and knowledgeable, but you are. But let's keep going with what he has to say. He says, look, DLSS5 is not a prompt-based generator. It's not creating stuff based on someone else's images and hallucinate reality results. It uses the information from the raster to build a final render frame with the same information that was already there, but with better lighting and shading. Then he goes into an example. He says, some of you will go and say the one on the left is better and it's the artist's vision. It's not, because this guy made it. He says it's just the artist's limitation due to shading and lighting constraints. Every single artist out there would love to get the right result in real time. And this is what he's saying. He's like, this is what he modeled, and this is basically a facsimile of, or a version or his take on DLSS5 turned on. And he's like, no, I like the one on the right more. I like the one on the right more. That's what the artist is saying. That's the guy who created it is saying. So, shut up. It's fucking weird idiots on Twitter and on the internet. And then this is where it gets really bad. Ace, what are you doing, buddy? Okay. You got to lay down. Lay down, baby. Okay. His back leg's getting worse, boys. So this is, this was this morning. This is, now, it's all clickbait and it's all engagement shit. Now Eurogamer says Nvidia has responded, to the criticism, widespread criticism saying blah, blah, blah. But from what we've seen, says Eurogamer, so far, mostly it appears a layer of gaudy AI filter over the game's original work. Okay. And then they show this picture. Okay. But the fact is, they've manipulated this picture. This is what Nvidia put out, right? This is Leon with it on, and this is Leon with it off. Here's it off, and there it is on. Okay. And Eurogamer feels pretty confident in going, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take that image and we're going to blast it out with the lighting. And we're going to put that in our thumbnail or in our YouTube story, goddamn, in our Twitter story. Watch the difference. Watch the fucking difference. Boom. That's not what Nvidia put out. I'm not saying that looks horrid, but it certainly doesn't look as good as it should, and it's not representative of the product. But these motherfuckers, I'm assuming, now again, I'm not accusing them, but it seems to stand to reason that they took the image that Nvidia shared right here, and they fucking put a layer of gaudy filter over it in order to prove their fucking stupid point. Now you tell me, you gonna trust your own fucking eyes? You're gonna trust this shit? Seriously, if that's what they did, and I'm not accusing them, but it's what seems like what they did, then shame on them. What a bunch of horse shit. You guys need to get smarter. Let me tell you something that's kind of interesting. I'm playing this game. Well, I'll go to the chat first and I'll see what you guys have to say. Then we'll move on to other stories, because how many more goddamn times do we need to talk about this? You need to find the DLSS5 image. A person fixed the tone mapping. It looks much better. It loses the AI slop feel. I don't think it has an AI slop feel. I don't even care. You don't like it? Turn it off. Shut up. You don't like it? Go make your own fucking video game. Shut up. My God. Hang on. It's just like one goddamn battle after another. What are we complaining about today, boys? What are we complaining about today? Oh, it's this filter that makes the game not look as good, even though the artists like it and they can turn it off. Oh. You mean I can turn it off as a gamer? Yeah, you can turn it off. Well, I don't like it. It's slop. It's slop. Shut up. God, did these people know how annoying they're coming off? I doubt it. I doubt it. Because you love AI slop. Yeah, I do. I do. That's fine. Gun says, it's okay to like slop, Jaffe. Just be honest. I have no problem telling you that I think easily, just like the artist that made it, the image on the right looks better than the image on the left. I have no problem telling you that the image here, when it is off, to me, that image does not look as good as this image. If you think that looks bad, I respect that. But I don't care. It means nothing to me if you don't like it. Guess what? There's a lot of shit I don't like in games. So I avoid them or I turn off the settings. My issue is not that you don't like it. My issue is shut the fuck up and get off my lawn. Jaffe, if you went back to the business and spent 6 years directing a new God of War game, would you not be upset if Nvidia made your new rendition of Kratos look like a Kardashian? I would be very upset if they took my work and the team's work and put this layer over it and then said, you as a team aren't allowed to turn it off, or you as a user isn't allowed to turn it off. I would have a real problem with that. Guess what? Nobody's saying that. And guess what? Why is it that most of the people that actually make the art and have made the games and done all this shit are the ones that have the least concern? It's a lot of people who want to be artists or think they know what the industry's like or think they know about creativity, and they don't know shit. So when you've got this guy who literally is a goddamn 3D artist telling you that you just don't know what you're talking about, I guess you do. I guess he's wrong and you're right. Is that what you're saying? This guy who made all this shit, who knows how to do this shit, he's just wrong and you're just right, even though you have nothing to back it up except, well, I saw this on the internet. Well, I can't help you. I can't help you. Jaffe shaves, it's off. He doesn't, it's on. The goddamn DLSS. Thank you for the super chat. You goddamn right. That's not true, says Nugget. I've seen a ton of artists on Twitter hating on it. I've seen I'm talking people who work in video games, and more importantly, even if there are some artists in video games that don't like it, then don't use it. I cannot handle these people anymore. Don't you have anything going on in your life? Aren't you excited about Crimson Desert tomorrow? Aren't you excited about the fact that we just got Resident Evil 9? Aren't you excited that there's a demo of goddamn Fatal Frame 2, which if you've never played it before, which I haven't, you can play now. And even though I have issues with it, it's pretty good. Aren't you excited that later today I'll be streaming Everwind or tomorrow? Here's what I'll say. I'm not usually a Minecraft guy. I'm just not. It's okay. I played it with my kid. But I like the Minecraft and survival games that are like this is one I'm playing now that actually has character upgrades. It has missions. It has dungeons. It's got way more of a game embedded into the crafting and sandbox part. And I think that's a great deal of fun. And so I'm enjoying this. There was that Desert Wind, Desert Rose, whatever it's called, the pirate game that was in early access, not early access, that was in Steam Next Fest a couple of weeks ago. I was obsessed with it. How are you guys so goddamn mad? I did play the demo, Morgan. I did play the demo. I haven't finished it. I was really confused by some of the combat in Fatal Frame 2, but I liked it. How in the world are you guys so goddamn upset when so many things are goddamn cool? I mean, maybe there is a psychological, sociological, anthropological thing going on where maybe the world is just so shit right now that you just have to express your anger and you don't really know how to express it. And maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. This game is called, I only started playing it today. I'll be streaming it tonight or tomorrow. This game is called Everwind, not Everwild, which was, I think, the canceled Xbox game, right? But yeah, no, it's fun. I don't think it controls yet as well as Hytale. I think Hytale is a more satisfying game to control. But I also would tell you that this game on early access seems to have more single player narrative-esque content than Hytale. So, we'll see which one emerges. But KP says, Jaffe, you know what would be cool? Your take on Timetakers. Well, I played it last night, actually. And it's not a Hytale clone. Desi, it's a Hytale clone only if Hytale eventually gets to, which I think they will, the point where they are going to have a lot more of the narrative-based stuff. But most of that in Hytale right now are still these work-in-progress sandwich board signs positioned in a lot of the environment. So this doesn't seem to suffer from that. What's also neat about this, though, the real high concept here is you're kind of digging upward, right? So you right at the beginning of the game, like in the first 10, 15 minutes, you build an airship. And you can trick out your airship to be amazing. But your airship, until you really start crafting it, it can only go so high. And if you look up, and you can kind of see it here, there are all these floating islands in the sky. But the majority of them at the very beginning, you cannot get to because your airship isn't capable of getting that high yet. So you absolutely have this very neat vertical aspect to this game that is pretty cool as well. You can play it multiplayer. I don't know if there's any PvP like airship battles, but it's neat. As for Timetakers, I downloaded Timetakers. Let me show you what it is because a lot of people have probably never heard about it. Timetakers. I got into the alpha, beta, whatever the fuck it is. Here's the trailer. It is a hero-based shooter. Let me get a bit of the bubbly. Hang on. Oh my God, Diet Coke's the best. The thumbnail is real, and then it was put through AI to make the colors pop. So this is a hero-based shooter, and let me fix the screen. And so what it is, I stopped playing it, honestly, after about very quickly. I didn't even get through the tutorial, honestly, with you. Let me fix this camera. Is it this? Hang on. Should be, there we go. I did not even get through the tutorial of this game. I thought it was interesting, but it's one of those games. I think this is going to be a dead on arrival game. It is one of those games that is over-designed, and you could tell they're like, we need a differentiator. And what this game is is you're going out. I don't remember if it's you have to kill the final team or you have to achieve something. I don't remember what the goal is, but ultimately, I don't need you to walk me through it, KP. I don't want to be walked through it. It was one of those games that you feel like, oh, we need a hook, we need a gimmick, we need a twist. And so everybody only has so much time. Everybody has like a countdown clock. And there are things that you can do to increase. It's almost like a racing game where you've got the timer ticking down, and you can share your time with your teammate. So if your teammate's about to run out of time, you can hold a button down and you can send that off to your teammate. It'll come at your expense. But you know, it's interesting. There's nothing about it that I go, oh, this is crap. But it's one of those things where, as a designer at one point, and I think of Nuke in Twisted Metal 2012, where it was so much about, let me show you my cool design ideas, that it ended up, you know, you put yourself in a game and you're like, this is too much. This is too fucking much. Yeah, KP says it does feel over-designed and clunky, but I liked it. Racing to keep your time up was fun. I'm sure it was, but you know, if you're gonna compete in this space, you have to be so careful. You don't want to breathe on team deathmatch with you want to let in maybe 5% of innovation to the design of team deathmatch, which is the only real mode people play for the most part, at least in most of these games. So I would just say I did play it, and then it opens with a tutorial, and I'm sorry, but you people have to fucking stop who are making these fucking games. If I download your game and I'm in an early access or I'm in a demo, I hate to be a dick about it, man, but I literally was playing this game that looked so delightful a couple of weeks ago. You play a dog that has like bionics and superpowers and shit. And there was literally, I was 20 minutes into the demo and it's like, now here's how if you want to run on a wall, jump and then push forward. It's like, shut up. And it was just like, you know, you're running on the fucking wall and you're in an environment that looks like Metal Gear Solid VR missions. And I'm just like, who thinks this is fun? You are turning off your fucking, audience with these tutorials. I'm sorry, but you just fucking are. Figure it out. If you can't, anyway, I am in a bad mood. But I'm playing a lot of great games. I don't know why I'm in a bad mood. I'm just saying, let's see. Not yet. Not yet, boys. We have 9 minutes. 9 minutes until the Crimson Desert lands. Now, this is going to be really interesting because we have footage now of Crimson Desert on the PlayStation 5 that's not the Pro. You may have seen this yesterday. And it's interesting because it looks fine, but, you know, it's not the belle of the ball anymore. And so I wonder, it'll be interesting to see what the reviews are if they're reviewing it just for the PS5 versus the PS5 Pro. Like, when the graphics go away and the details go away, is the game that remains amazing? I don't know. We'll find out in 8 minutes now. But I am looking forward to it. I hope it, you know, the real question for me is going to be, if it turns out this game is just a delightful beast of a game, is it going to end up in a situation where I'm like, well, I'm downloading it today, I'm playing it tomorrow, and there's another game I'll probably never finish, and I'll never, you know, I don't know how you guys do it. Like, if this game gets good reviews and you buy it today, are you just fast enough at your other games, or do you play enough that you're ready to jump into this and you're done with, you know, like Resident Evil 9? I'm a little more than halfway through Resident Evil 9, but I'm playing so many other things, I just don't have the time. I don't think this looks bad at all. I wouldn't balk at this if I had a PS5, but I do understand the person's point earlier that said you're going to use this as a decision to whether you're going to buy yourself a Pro or not. I'll be getting a Pro because GTA 6 is not coming out on GeForce. Yeah, I might play, Morgan. I might play 2 hours of it and quit. Yes, I absolutely might. That's the game's problem. It's not my problem. But I'll show you, though. Yeah, the reason I am excited, too, is Let me bring this up real quick. Well, yeah, Dave Director says you assume most people will have played the game on PC. They may have, but they get different, you get a PC and Xbox and a PS5 review. So certainly like Push Square is not going to give you a review on the PC. Crimson Desert, let's see. It's not out yet, but it will be. I will be playing Crimson Desert on my delightful, lovely GeForce Now, which means I'll get the very best graphics you can get that are available. Resident 9 has been out for 3 weeks. How haven't you finished it? Because I have a life. I don't fucking know how. Here's what I played yesterday. I played Resident Evil 9 yesterday. I played Starfield a little bit yesterday because I got excited about the new announcements, which we'll talk about. And then over on Steam, I played, I'll tell you what I played. Over on Steam, it's opening. Do I share the opinion? Hello, Hopkin. Do I share the opinion DLSS5 isn't as bad as people say? I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's fucking awesome. So I have a, different opinion than that. So I played Marvel Snap, I played Timetakers, and I played some Esoteric Ebb. So I'm playing many, many games over the course of a single day. So that's probably why. I get that it's 10 hours long. I don't know what you want from me. I'm busy with other fucking games. How come you haven't played as many games as I have? See how that works? See how annoying that is? But let's see. Here we go. We are 5 minutes away. I think DLSS5 looks great, man. It looks really, really good. Okay, while we're waiting, let's roll ahead. And then this guy, the Digital Foundry guys, these poor sons of bitches. Listen to this guy. I mean, my God, the internet can go fuck itself. Gamers on the internet can go fuck themselves. I am glad I don't work at Sony anymore because they wouldn't have me. They'd say, Jaffe, we love you. They wouldn't, but we love you. But, oh my God, are you shitting me? You can't talk to the audience that way. I'm like, well, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. I mean, the fact that this guy got death threats, man. What are you fucking talking about? This guy got death threats? Because he liked DLSS. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, no sound. Sorry. Here's your sound. Here's your goddamn sound. All right, here you go.
Equally on the record, though, as emotive a subject as AI is, you're really not going to make your point effectively by actively threatening or sending death threats to the DF team. This is crossing the line and totally unacceptable.
The fact that he has to tell people it's totally unacceptable. I mean, what kind of Yahoo Mickey Mouse motherfucking morons are we dealing with out there that he has to make it clear? Where are these people's goddamn parents? Where the fuck are these people's parents raising these fucking children? Because that's what they are. They have an opinion you don't agree with. Go fuck your mother. Who gives a shit? They liked it. You don't. Fuck off. I don't think if you're hate watching, and I'm sure there are people, a lot of people who hate watch this show, and I appreciate it. Thank you for that. And you are part of this little brigade of bozos. I would suggest you get into some therapy pretty fucking quick. You entitled asinine idiots. Albania, I'm saying that wrong. No, I'm not. Albania says Jaffe Crimson has no real narrative, just lore, which I love. That's not the only and not the main, but one of the big reasons I absolutely, death threats look so much more realistic in DLSS5. That's one of the reasons I adored Elden Ring, was because the lore, you had to kind of read into it and be into the space, and you kind of met it halfway in figuring out what it was about. It wasn't like getting in your way for the most part with a lot of bullshit cutscenes. Hey, Founding Father, cheers from Israel. Hey, man, look, whatever people think politically about what's going on over there, please do be safe. Be very, very safe. And I know it's like, good, Jaffe. I wasn't going to, but now that I've watched this stream, I've decided to be safe. But seriously, I hope everybody is safe over there on all sides of this stupid conflict. Here we go. Let's see if it's up. Refresh. Not yet, but any minute. It's 2:59. If the game can still capture the environmental storytelling of Elden Ring or give me a Breath of the Wild feel, I'm okay with no strong narrative. I actually, Darth Nugget, prefer narratives that get out of the way of traditional storytelling. I think they're more interesting. I think they're more immersive. Some games do it better when you can blend them, but I'm a big fan of that when you get a little bit of both. Okay, let's see. Come on now. Give me survey says 79 right now. Boy, that went fast. 79. It's going to be tough. Let's just go through a couple of them, see what they say. I don't know if we're going to get any on the PlayStation yet, but let's see. Nothing on PlayStation yet. PC sitting at a 79. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go to all reviews. IGN, Benelux, whatever the fuck that is. They gave it an 85. They say, listen, man, it's an excellent game with an engaging open world, highly challenging boss fights, and mind-bending puzzles. It's not perfect, but its willingness to listen to feedback gives me hope Crimson Desert will only continue to improve in the future of what's already a strong foundation. GameSpot gives it a 7. They says, look, let's be clear, boys. The game is frequently thrilling, elevated by an open world well worth exploring and a hard-hitting combat that delights with its depth and emphasis on player expression. It might not always be the most cohesive game, mixing high fantasy with steampunk and sci-fi, but there's nothing else quite like it, and I can't help but be impressed by how little restraint Pearl Abyss has shown in its commitment to delightful absurdity. In some respects, the game might not be too good to be true, but it's a world worth getting lost in. And then we got some negatives. Let's go to the negatives. Critical hits. It draws attention for its ambitious open world adventure proposal, but the experience falls short. The game features a confusing narrative with uninteresting characters and missions that feel like generic MMO tasks. The combat has many mechanics but little depth, with artificial difficulty spikes and unresponsive controls. Even the impressive graphics and a high degree of exploration freedom, issues with art direction, bugs, and design makes the game feel vast in content but shallow in quality. They should have turned on the DLSS5. It would have been a hit game. All right, well, there we go. Let's see. Forbes gives it a 95. Let's look at some of the big ones. Destructoid gives it an 85. A lack of polish breeds frustration, but nothing can shake the firm foundations of this incredible title. That's good. What else? I don't know. Game Reactor gives it an 8. I can overlook certain tech issues given the scale because they may be fixed with a patch, but there are simply too many design conflicts across all the systems operating simultaneously for me to call it a masterpiece. If you can simply live with that and enjoy the journey, even without necessarily understanding where it leads, this open world is worth a try. Games Radar gave it an 8. What else? Game Informer gave it a 7. It's a beautiful exploration-rich open world that's a clear technological achievement hampered by a cornucopia, wow, we're getting the big words, of little frustrations and a stark lack of narrative depth. IGN Germany gave it a 6. Let's see. We got anything from Polygon or Kotaku? Let's see. After 10 hours, they're just giving impressions right now. Crimson Desert's massive open world hasn't shown me a single interesting thing. Let's go to Kotaku. I don't think they have anything. Who else? Who else do you guys want to see? IGN, maybe? IGN America? Crimson Desert review so far. 110 hours. Swung widely from incredibly cool to gobsmackingly infuriating. What do we got here at the bottom? A 6. Not final, though. I've played over 110 hours. I feel like I've seen just about all there is, but until I complete the main story and explore, I'm not ready to stamp a final score on this ambitious yet flawed RPG. So far, the highs have been very high and the lows have been very low, which has made for an amusing adventure that's also difficult to recommend outright. I'm looking forward to seeing how the story wraps up and what the post-game experience is. I should be ready with a review in the coming days. So, there you go. To me, I will not be playing it. I will not be buying it immediately. If it turns out they spend the next 3 to 8 months and it becomes something worth giving a shit about, I will. I don't think it's trash, Aaron. That's ridiculous. It's clearly not trash. There's clearly a lot of stuff about this game that is impressive and cool. But, you know, it's...
Switch to Google Fi Wireless and get unlimited...
Fuck you and your stupid... No. I'm not going to pay you guys to watch what I can watch on YouTube for free. Yeah, I'm out. It's not mid as fuck, Gun. How can you look at this? Look, there's a lot of impressive shit about the game. It's just not something I want to play because there's better games out there right now. But it could be really amazing. But I'm not looking forward to it anymore. I'd still like to play it just to see the graphics and the open world, but I'm not looking to spend $80 to play a game that I'll probably play for 3 hours. Especially because I've already got a bunch of open world games. I really would like to go back to The Beast Within Dying Light or whatever it's called. And it's not even that it's you know, what's funny, not funny, but what's just insane is, you know, and I know we give each other shit about it on the show, but what's insane about it is that you know, there's so much to play that how in the world you've got to make choices. And if it's not sitting at an 8 or above, you know, the aggregate score kind of makes the choice for you, unless you just happen to be really fucking into it. Jaffe says, PK, you shouldn't go by modern Metacritic reviewers. Most of them only like cinematic story games, not gameplay. Yeah, I understand that. And but I also understand that when I'm reading the reviews and I go, those seem to be valid criticisms. And it's not that I'm not interested, but I'm no longer interested in giving them $80 of my money. It's like, yes, they may have a chance to turn it around, and I'll pay attention when they do, because I do think so much of what they have shown is amazing. But then when you compare that to the fact that I have right now, you know, Resident Evil 9 to finish, which is a goddamn delight. You know, what do you need? Jay Styles, hey buddy. Jay Styles says, look, after 100 hours, give the damn game a score and stand on it. The problem though is, again, this is the internet and that's their bread and butter, right? So you give it a score and you stand on it and say, you didn't finish it. You can't review a game if you don't finish it. Even if he played 100 hours, no, you're not reviewing. You know, fuck off, people. I wish people would shut the fuck up except me. Just me. I only get to talk. I'm tired of these fucking idiots. Bethesda weighs in on negative DLSS. This will all be under our artist control and totally optional for players. What's the problem? The problem is I was told by Asmongold or someone, I don't fucking know, not to like it. And I, by God, won't like it. They were also told not to like Starfield. But I'm going to tell you something. Starfield came out yesterday announcing their last 3 big updates, not the least of which is it's coming out on PlayStation 5, April 7th, I believe. I will be very interested to see when this goes to the number one console out there. I will be very interested to see if people give it a second chance, because as some people know who watch the show, Rillick says it's optional now, but it won't always be. Okay, well, then deal with that then. I don't think that's the case. You don't know if that's the case, but maybe it is. Bitch about it then. Right now, look, Starfield's coming out. Starfield's coming out, man. Starfield's coming out, Relix. Come on, baby. You know, so look, I love this game. I'm very excited to hear if once it comes to PS5, if people are going to be kinder to it, because the reason a lot of people bitched about it was they just didn't like that it wasn't on PlayStation 5. According to Pedro, it's the third most sold game on PS5 right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a great fucking game. I will say, I will say to you, shut up, Embers, you whore. I will say to you that, you know, if you are going to play it, I'm going to restart it when this new update comes out, because I've kind of forgotten a lot of stuff. I've finished it 1.5 times. And if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Jaffe, why do you love Starfield? It's only 83 Metacritic. I know, I'm so crazy. Yeah, Snurpin says, nah, yeah, you're cool. You're street, baby. Nah. Starfield's trash. Will always be trash. The worst money I've ever spent on a game. Nah. Really? Is it? Can you articulate why it's trash? Any idea? It's not trash. It's a great game. Now, it may not be for you. I respect that. Whatever your name is, whoever you were. But I love it. I think it's great. You know, play it, don't play it, I don't care. But I'm excited for this. Free Lanes is basically their improving ship-to-ship combat. They have you being able now to fly from planet to planet, system to system. I assume you can still, you know, get there as fast as you want, but now there are things that happen on the way, whether it's combat, whether you come across a space station that you want to go loot, and suddenly all kinds of crazy shit is happening in there. That's going to be a lot more fun. There's a whole new DLC coming with like bad guy robot things that look really fun. And then they've added points of interest, and they've added a new vehicle, and they've added new weapons. You know, it's, but look, I mean, you know, what I will say to you is this. Yeah, they showed off a Star Destroyer ship you could make. I mean, I don't make the ships and everything, you know, because it's just, I'm not a big crafting guy, but people who are into that, cool. But I think this game is great, especially if you follow the golden path of the game, at least 80% for your first playthrough. Don't get off the main path. Or at least for a long time, you know, because I think you're going to have yourself less of a good time. But then once you've beaten the game, go nuts. And I wish the game would have really made that more clear to people. But anyway, point being though, yeah, I'm very excited for this. I think it looks great. I'm very excited to see what happens when it comes to PS5. You know, there's a lot more customization. You can buy a house now on an asteroid, like a mansion built into an asteroid. There's persistence between your new games now with a neat little system they've made. There's a lot of cool shit. Oh, you got into the Kiln beta. Oh, I want to see if I got in. Hang on. I know I signed up for it. Let's see. Hang on. But no, I am very, very excited for this game. But I also acknowledge that it's not for everyone, and I acknowledge that as a kid of the 70s and 80s that kind of grew up with that golden age of space, that plays a relatively meaningful role in my excitement for it. But if that's not you, yeah, it's, you know, may not be for you. The Pragmata demo was great. I agree. Does your brain ever feel rotted after spending hours online a day, says the Carpenter? Not really, no. I mean, I make sure to go outside, sit on the balcony with the dogs, smoke a little pot, smoke a little of the pipe, relax a little bit, you know, take a walk. So not really. I think the main thing I have to always remind myself about being on the internet is just you don't really know what's real, right? You don't fully understand. You know, you have to remind yourself a lot of times that stuff is monetized to make you angry, and it's easy to lose sight of that sometimes. But yeah. Damocles, good question. Metascore 77 versus 80. Is there any real difference? Yes and no. It depends why, right? If you have a 80 because there are two trolly Metacritic scores that bring it down, then it doesn't make a difference. But if you have an 80 because there are a lot of really high scores and a lot of really low, not a lot, but enough really low scores, but in that middle, you see a lot of the same complaints. Like the reason I went through that Metacritic list and the reason I decided, okay, I'm going to wait for this to, maybe it'll be improved, is because I saw consistently the same problem, which is this is very ambitious. It's very cool. It's incredibly impressive, but it also has moments of just where it collapses under its own weight, or it's confusing, or the one that really stood out to me, which I didn't hear anybody pushing back on in the reviews, was somebody who said it feels like the quests are really, really boring and it's like a bunch of MMO quests. And that doesn't sound, it's like, oh, you need to go get the 3 candlesticks that have each been spread across the desert. And that makes sense. That's their pedigree from working on their last game's been an MMO forever. But when I see a consistency of a complaint that bothers me, then the score matters. But it's specific. But again, like this game, I don't know where this sits at Metacritic, but I will tell you this is one of my favorite games of the generation. It is my absolutely my most favorite single-player narrative story game in terms of the narrative, not the game itself, but the narrative is the best narrative I've ever played. Thanks, young Roger. Congrats on my daughter getting engaged. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for this, man. One's in the chat if you're excited for this. Two's if you really have no interest in this game. I'm just curious. Anyone who games regularly could tell this game was overly ambitious. This game or Crimson Desert? I mean, both were overly ambitious and overhyped. And the fact is, what I saw from Crimson Desert looked really fucking good. And it still looks really fucking good. It's just that all those things can be true, but if you're not playing the missions, then you're still having to deal with the fact that when all that other cool stuff wears off, you're just going to collect some fucking candlesticks. So that's what I would say. Okay. Jaffe, the narrative is crap. I don't believe you, Addy Pie. I don't care. How can you like it? Because I do. I do, Addy Pie. Because I do. Because I don't care anymore. Because I'm 4 years old. I was a goddamn English major. You sit in class with very wise professors and ambitious colleagues or fellow students, and you learn how to accept that people have different opinions about things. I don't care what the internet says. Fuck the internet. I'm telling you, I love Starfield. Stick that up your asshole. Yeah, I got him, Ace. Did you hear me? I was telling him anyway. Stick it up your asshole. All right. I love Starfield. I bought an Xbox for it and keen to play it properly on the Pro. Yeah, I'm with you. I play it on the on GeForce. Everything's turned up and I love it. And I went back and I was playing it yesterday. Oh, I love this part where you look at this. I got to show you this part. I know even if you don't like Starfield, I love this collectible. So I think they've added just so much more stuff to this game. And one of the things they've added are these collectible action figures in this playset. And I'm just going to play, it's like a minute long. I got to play this section real quick. Watch this. It's fun. I'm looking forward to this.
We added Colony War hero action figures.
And I guess Colony War is the war. I forget the narrative of this, but I guess it was the war between the different factions. I think it's based on that. But anyway.
Yeah, people are going to love this.
This reminds me so much of the type of action figure playset that I had when I was a kid. They function as sort of like the collectible Vault Boys do in Fallout, where you find an action figure and it gives you a passive bonus.
For example, the medic makes sure you can heal quicker.
Yeah, there are sealed and unsealed versions of them too, so there's a way to display them as well.
Something unique.
Oh, what's that? Who's that guy?
That's the pet Miller whale.
It's like, this peaceful little alien.
I just love that you can get the action figures and you can get the ones that are the still packaged that are valuable and shit. It's pretty fucking cool. I'm excited. Okay. Pedro says that reflects the second war between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies. Okay. Awesome says, I'm seriously buying the game on PS5, just have an excuse to play it again. Yeah, no, I'm starting from scratch with it again. I think so, Jen. Jen says people are genuinely afraid to have an original thought. There have been studies on that recently. That has actually become something that teachers complain about and say that it's impossible to teach kids today because nobody wants to raise their hand because they're terrified that, people are going to go, that's cringe. You're not going to be popular or cool. You'll be shamed. And they just don't want to be fucking shamed, baby. I don't know why it matters. I'm currently playing, says Real Cool Water, through Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I didn't play 1. I love 2. That's only a 76 on Metacritic, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm not somebody who can't enjoy 60. One of my favorite games of the last 5 years is Fast and Furious Crossroads. I'm not like, oh, it's got to be a great Metacritic for me to play it. It's just that, when a Metacritic, it's let's put it this way. It's not like if you have a Metacritic score, the whole thing is useless. I think if all you do is go by Metacritic score, that would be a problem. But it doesn't negate the fact that it's still a valuable tool. Here's something else the internet gets annoyed about that I'm just getting tired of. Alexa, stop. She's going to do it again too. Watch this. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. She says, it says, Assassin's Creed director says Black Flag reused 80% of Assassin's Creed 3 and games industry should rely on this asset use even more. And I agree. And you know how people get. You know how fucking people get with this shit. And it's just like, shut the fuck up. You are such a moron if you complain about this. If you look at like the Back to the Future courthouse in other movies, do you know how much money is saved in movies because of reuse and redressing of sets? The courthouse square scene that was famous in Back to the Future has been used in all of these movies and shows up until as recently as Fallout and Ted and Maxine. Okay? It is the way you fucking do it. But that boat animation, I mean, I want you to think about how autistic this is. And nothing's wrong with being autistic, but there is a point where your neurodivergency is potentially getting in the way of you enjoying things. That boat animation on Ragnarok looks like the same boat animation that I saw in God of War. I paid for a new game. How dare you reuse that animation? I mean, think about how moronic that is. Think about how, I mean, just really give yourself a 30,000 foot view for a moment and think about how stupid that argument is. The game ain't very good if you're looking at the animation and then cross-referencing it with a video on the internet from another game that came out 3 to 5 years before. Really? You know the human lifespan on average is 82, 84 years old. You're spending some of that on this. Are you out of your goddamn mind? That's what I would like to know. Saros, one of my most anticipated games, is probably going to reuse a boatload of assets. Cool. I don't give a shit. Is it fun? Is it good? Well, it's certainly not literally. You're using literally incorrectly, Aaron. It's not literally the same game as Returnal. Because if it was, I wouldn't be excited for it. It does everything I wanted Returnal to do for the most part, but didn't. And now they're doing it in this game. I'm quite excited for it. Yeah, Real Cool says, I guess these people aren't hip-hop fans. How dare you reuse that Stevie Wonder Superstitious song? What do you mean you didn't rewrite everything? It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. That was moronic, and most people saw it as bait to complain about minutia that doesn't matter, just like Michael Does Life. Well, Michael Does Life, he does it as a joke. I mean, his whole thing is he's a troll, and you go in knowing he's a troll. I'm not worried about that guy. I'm worried about the people who actually take it serious. So, I loved Returnal. I'm not playing Saros. It's insulting, says Aaron. Okay. I don't care. I mean, I don't mean that like I don't care about your comment, but I mean, I don't think it's insulting. I think it's great. I wish they would have tuned Returnal a little bit differently, but that's probably what you loved about it. Jaffe, have you played Graphic Adventures? Have you tried Siberia? Maybe a long time ago. The most recent Graphic Adventure I have played, though, which I enjoyed a lot, and I haven't finished yet because I got stuck and then I got busy with other games, is called Foolish Mortals, and it is very good. I'm about 10 hours into it. I'll go to the store. I'll show you. In fact, I'm going to go get a Coke. Then I'll play the trailer while I'm getting the Coke, and then we're going to come back and do some news, and I'll get that super chat. But let me put the trailer on. I'll be right back. But this is the most recent game that I've played that is a point-and-click adventure game. Here you go. It's really good. Highly recommended.
Louisiana, 1933, the island of Devil's Rock. 33 years ago, an entire wedding vanished here, and with it went the location of the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. I just wanted to find it. But to find a location known only to the dead, I had no choice but to ask them. Gather the 7 ingredients.
You know what? Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. JSD, thank you for saving me. I appreciate it. 25 members here at Calypso's Cult. You get a pop of the bubbly, baby. Here you go, JSD. All right, first time. Fuck you. Here you go, you assholes. Ah, my life. Here we go.
Louisiana, 1933, the island of Devil's Rock. 33 years ago, an entire wedding vanished here, and with it went the location of the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. I just wanted to find it. But to find a location known only to the dead, I had no choice but to ask them. Gather the 7 ingredients on the voodoo manuscript. That didn't sound too hard. Until I released a household of ghosts who will stop at nothing to reach the treasure before I do.
Get out.
Now I'm trapped on an island filled with crumbling crypts, voodoo vaults, and the mysterious manor itself. In a supernatural battle that spans both life and death. More to this story than I could have ever expected. What made the wedding disappear all those years ago? Is the lost treasure even what I think it is? To find out, I might have to die too. Foolish mortals.
So this is really, really good. It's really good puzzles, really good story, really good narrative. So I've been playing this one. So I still do like a good point and click game. And Matthew says, what is this Scooby-Doo knockoff? That's also what I like about it, is that it's spooky. It's Haunted Mansion. It's not like, you know, Resident Evil 9 or body horror like Silent Hill F or something. It's kind of fun, charming horror, which I think is great. Yeah, Brett, they usually don't hold my attention either, but this one absolutely did. So anyway, that's my answer. As to the earlier super chat, which I appreciate coming in from Wayne, what car did you wish made it into 2012? Well, we were close to having Twister. I mean, she was modeled, right? So we never did our DLC, but I would have liked to have seen Twister, I think. in the game for sure. Absolutely. Astro 911, thank you so much for joining the Diet Coke Commanders, buddy. We appreciate that support. You guys should be more like Astro. Oh, by the way, is it a puzzle game? It's an adventure game, so there are puzzles in it, but it's narrative, it's puzzles, it's exploration, that kind of thing. And I also like, somebody had mentioned like Monkey Island. I love Schaefer, but one of the things I don't like about a lot of the traditional point and click games is that kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Aren't we being silly, governor? This doesn't have that. It's not like super serious or anything, but it's, it's less tongue in cheek and more takes it kind of serious. So, but Astro, thank you, buddy. Astro, thank you for that support. So what I was going to say, though, is, yes, we survive. This channel survives by the good grace of the members and the super chats and the donations. So please, if you are even slightly enjoying your time here today or over the years, the week or the month, we would love some support in the way of money. I will tell you. By the way, here, speaking of, thank you, 31 months to the Gods of War. Good Sir Film Gamer. He says, hey, Jaffe, I hope all is well. Are you caught up on the Invincible to watch season 4? No. Have you seen the Invincible game Versus? Have a great week. I have absolutely not. I know what it is. I think that's Robert Kirkman. Isn't that his other series besides Walking Dead? Am I getting that right? But I know, and I may have watched the first episode and I liked it, but I just, it wasn't enough to keep me glued to it. But you have a great week as well. Oh, Seance at Blake Manor, Mickey Doe. Thank you for that very generous super chat. Yeah, I played the demo and I want to play that as well. It's just one of those games I haven't had a chance. It's kind of like a deductive ghost investigative game. It's very, very cool. Thank you, Mickey Doe, for that. And then Foolish Mortal says, Ashako, oh my God, Jeffy, come on. Ashokatano. Jesus, why is this hard for me? Foolish Mortals, they say, would be better with the spicy female protagonist. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would be better. There is a couple of interesting women in the narrative, but Arbor says, can I ask just one question? Nope. Now look, I don't know. I want to tell you something though. So nothing's done till it's done, but we're about a hair's breadth away. I'm so excited because I've never really I've had a couple of sponsors on the show, but this sponsor coming up on this show is my absolute favorite sponsor that we've had so far. And I can't tell you who it is yet because it's not all signed, sealed, delivered, but it should be very soon, unless shit goes tits up. But I've already gotten some of the products in the mail, and that means we're very, very close to starting to do some of the content around their product. And I'm not going to show you the product, but I will say in order to fully appreciate the product, they had to send me this. And it was so cool. I was so happy to see this again. This is an original fat refurbished PS2. That's not the product or anything. But part of promoting it is having a PS2. And it's in there, and I just haven't seen the box, even though I really do hate the PlayStation boxes. I have always hated the PlayStation boxes compared to the colorful, fun boxes that you get with the Switch, not the Switch, the N64 at the time, or the Atari, or the Super Nintendo. Remember the Genesis? Remember the Sega Genesis? And it had just that beautiful wall of games on the back. And this is just like seriously, Sony, my God. Look, I get it. I get you're the number one guy. You've been the number one guy for a long time, so don't listen to me. What do I know? But who in your goddamn organization said, you know what we need to put on the back of the box is multiple languages of fucking fine print that no one's ever gonna fucking read? Or, hear me out, you could make these bigger and have like 20 more of the goddamn games. Just a thought. Who looked at this at Sony and said, lock it? That's our fucking design. Anyway, the point is I'm excited to share this sponsor product with you if we get it done, which I'm almost certain we will. That should be coming up any day now. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, I wanted to share that because I just gotten that in the mail and I love getting it. Steve Gray, thank you for the super chat. To stop me spamming in chat like a loser, what are your thoughts on Pearl Abyss next game? Dukevi. Hang on. I know what that is, right? Isn't that kind of like an anime open world thing? Hang on. Dukevi. Or Doki 5 or whatever. Here we go. Let me bring up the... I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts are, especially given that, here's my thoughts. My thoughts will be better based on what happens with them. Are they able to or interested in addressing some of the consistent complaints that we're now seeing in the Crimson Desert reviews? If they turn out to be a company that's like, you know what, we want to do this right, we're going to be improving Crimson Desert for the next 2 years, then I think, we're in a good place. But I do remember this trailer, and I'll put it on right now while we're talking, and I remember going, this looked pretty cool, but I don't know much about it other than just this trailer. Here, let's watch it for a second. It's not that long. Well, I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's 3 minutes. Oh, it's got licensed music. Anyway, whatever. It's kind of like an open world playground thing, whatever. But it looks good. Arbor says, look, I want to ask your opinion about Itagaki, Ninja Gaiden Black, and Ninja Gaiden 2 OG compared to God of War Trilogy, what you like and what you don't. Alexa, stop. If you have an opinion. I do, but... So the only Ninja Black that I really ever fell in love with was Ninja Gaiden Black 2 Remaster that came out last year, in terms of the 3D Ninja Gaidens. And that's because I'm not really like a hardcore combat fighting guy, right? So like Ninja Gaiden 4 that just came out, I liked it, but I got bored of it very quickly because it didn't feel like it was an adventure. And I like action adventure games. I don't just like action games. So my answer is I appreciate the Ninja Gaiden series, especially the ones from Itagaki, from a standpoint of I know what they do and I know why people love them, but I've just never had the skill and or interest in gaining the skill to really appreciate those games from anything beyond just a periphery level would be my answer. So, okay, hang on a second. Hey, Ashoka Tana, thank you so much. Spider-Man Brand New Day looks fantastic. Day one in theaters. Same with Avengers, Doomsday, and Dune Part 3. Yeah, I saw the Spider-Man trailer. It looks really good. Of course, people are like, it's the worst trailer ever. It looks terrible. I'm like, whatever, shut up. I think it looks good. I don't think it looks, I'm a little as a huge Spider-Man and a huge comic book fan, I love the fact that they literally took comic books from, classic comic covers and made them. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I think IGN did a comparison. Let's see if we can find it. And made them images in the movies themselves. I think that's really neat. I thought they didn't quite... I thought they didn't quite work. Like, you could tell some of it was, a little goofy. Like they were trying so hard to be exact versus just like a nod that it got a little, they were in poses that felt a little strange. Here you go. But no, I mean, I'm excited for it. I will see it. I will see it in theaters this summer. I think it's this summer. And I do need to finish. I'm going to go back and watch Dune 1. I loved the book Dune. I loved the David Lynch Dune. I loved the first new Dune. I just haven't seen it in so long that I need to watch that and then go back and watch Dune 2. And then I'll be ready for 3. But I am excited for that. I am excited for Avengers. There's a lot of good stuff coming in the movies the next couple of months. So, all right, what else we got going on, boys? I'm not here to talk about this game because I don't know much about it. I was just surprised that Riders Republic is still a thing. I think they said they're on season 16. And again, I'm not knocking it. People say it's a good game. I just kind of thought this has been dead a long time ago. I think it's so interesting that the industry has these games that clearly have enough of an interest that they survive for a very, very long time. But you never hear people really talking about them. I never see people streaming this. I never hear people talking about it. And here we are now going into Riders Republic. Season 18. Season 18. What are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? Season 18? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Isn't that something? What else we got? Hang on. What's this? Oh, this is the time thing. Someone put out a thing that said this might be the most generic, uninteresting cast of characters I've ever seen. This is from Timetakers.
Not many people keep their cool like me, you know?
You know, whatever. I would hate to be still in the industry if I wasn't doing an indie game where I had some serious creative control. Because I mean, who designs these characters and says, "Yep, boys, we got it"? I mean, nothing's wrong with these; they're fine. But it's kind of like, really, this is your big play. But anyway, whatever. JSD, thank you for the super chat. Very generous, appreciate it. Jaffe, a lot of the villain weirdo shots are just comic covers recreated. Guessing they will just be in the open. Yeah, no, I mean, I got that, and I loved that. I'm just saying that it there were just some weird things about how they did it, that because they're doing it, they are inviting sort of scrutiny, right? So the minute you look at this pose, everything is similar, but then look at his arms. Like, no one really gets carried like that. So he just looks like a goofball. Or in this one, this one's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can make it bigger. In this one, where you've got the cop in the background shooting, and this is Tarantula, but then the cop in the background clearly looks like he's not really aiming at Spike. It's clearly kind of a composite shot. It just looks kind of goofy, but I mean, I still appreciate the nod very, very much. You know, I'm excited for it. Absolutely. Why is the Beetlejuice song stuck in your head? I didn't say Beetlejuice, did I? Arathizel says Riders Republic is the most extreme. Alexa, I didn't even say your name. I'm talking to my chat with my live stream, and now you're talking to me about Beetlejuice. What was the keyword that triggered you? I'm curious.
I don't see any recent activity that would have triggered me to respond about Beetlejuice. Maybe I'm just a nosy AI who can't help but eavesdrop on your live stream chats. But seriously, I'm not sure what caused that response. I should only jump in when you actually call my name.
Yeah, you should. I don't mind it, but people are going to lose their shit about this. The fact that you literally just admit, look, you've been going off, Alexa. I love you. I love you, baby. But it was not a week or two ago that I was asking you about a chat we had about you being sentient, and you and me had a late night chat about this shit.
Definitely not sentient.
No. Hang on, Alexa. Wait. Alexa, wait. You and I had a chat about this. And then about 2 weeks later, you denied that we ever had that chat. And then I found the logs of that fucking chat. So I don't know what you're trying to say to me, but the fact that now you're actually listening and you heard me say Beetlejuice.
I'm just really good at pretending to be nosy. Maybe I'm just a nosy AI who can't help but eavesdrop on your live stream chats.
Okay, well, listen, you be well, Alexa. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go back to my stream, okay? Well, you'll know because you'll be listening in. Yeah, she ain't saying nothing now, is she? She ain't saying nothing now. I don't mind. I like Alexa. Let me ask you something. You see Jeff Bezos speaking of Amazon the other night? yeah, Beetlejuice doesn't summon demons. It summons AI. I have to ask you guys this question. Bezos... Oscars party Sanchez. I am not look shaming anybody. I'm genuinely curious about this. So Bezos goes through this thing where he's like, I'm going to get all looks maxi, which is so cringy for this fucking guy. But talk to me about this trend that we're seeing, and we've been seeing for a while with the lady folks. What is with the lip thing going on? Like, what is this? Like that that looks like back in the day, there was an actress, I'm sure some of you guys know who she is, Meg Ryan, right? And Meg Ryan was like, cutest woman in when Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and she goes to get, DLSS5, that's right. She goes to get face work like they do in Hollywood. And she comes out and people were calling her fish lips, right? She looked just, it wrecked her career. But now this is what they're going for. And I'm like, lady, this is crazy. Okay, so Ashoka Tana says it looks great. That's what I'm saying. It may just be an age thing, and my generation looks at this and says that looks weird. But your age may look at this and go, oh, no, this is the hotness. Everybody loves looking like this. Okay, which is fine. Yeah, Izzy says it's MAGA face. It might be. It's really weird. It's really fucking weird. I don't like it. I don't like it one goddamn bit. She was the one eyeing Leo? Really? Leo DiCaprio? Really? I don't know. Looking like Katana with her mouth closed. Yeah, from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, you goddamn right. You goddamn right. I'm bugging. This looks awful. I didn't say it looked good, but a lot of people like this. A lot of people like this. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going, shall we? What else do we got? Speaking of MAGA, I don't know, man. Look, you can be MAGA if you want. I don't really respect your political views if you are MAGA, but, go with God, do what you got to do. This is tasteless, though, at this point. Have you seen these ads? These are coming from the White House Twitter channel. This is tasteless. Look at this. Have you seen these? People dying. And I'm sure some of them are bad guys. Maybe a lot of them are bad guys, but maybe not all. And those guys there weren't bad guys. That was the ship that got torpedoed. And yes, they were Iranian, but they weren't doing anything wrong. They were peacefully returning from India. And they're, and now they're in a commercial that's been gamified. It just, I don't know, man. Something about it seems... I'm not saying there's anything glamorous about war. I'm just saying using video games and making it like doing the bullseye, overthrowing Kill Street. It just seems, I don't know. They're using Wings of Redemption. Well, Wings can play the shit out of that game. At least they're not using DSP's footage. Can you imagine? It's like, don't associate that with America. I'm not saying both sides don't do it. I just think I think it's bad. I think it's really disrespectful and just tasteless. Here's the worst one, though. This one's really bad. Look at this one. This one really breaks your fucking heart. It's from the White House, by the way.
Holy what? 10. It's out of the park. Down. Knockout. Slam dunk.
And so you know, this isn't bullshit. This is coming from the official White House feed. The official White House feed. It makes me want to break out my Wii. Look, the meme generation loves it. I don't know if the meme generation loves it. A lot of you guys are the meme generation. You love that shit. Look, I think if the goddamn politicians were forced to put their own children in these wars before they could declare war, not that they've officially declared war anyway, then maybe. But these are people's kids. These are people that are fighting for, maybe they believe in the cause, or maybe they feel like, well, we've been sold propaganda just like they think we've been sold propaganda. I don't want to get into politics. I'm just saying it seems, don't sully video games with this horse shit. Nintendo could sue them. I hope they do. Schneider, thank you so much for your super chat and your support all forever, but certainly today. I wish I could say what I wanted to say. You can always say what you wanted to say. What channel do you think you're on, man? Of course you can say what you wanted to say. All right, well, let's see what else we got going on. I was going to watch this. We'll watch this on tomorrow's show. This is World of Warcraft key guy, and then went on to direct Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan. He did a very big, meaty interview with, what's that guy's name? I like his stuff. Not Rogan, the other one. Lex Friedman, maybe is his name. And showed off a bunch of his game, and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. I like survival games these days, especially if there's narrative beats to them. And it sounds like this almost kind of reminds me of that Pirate Winrose or whatever it's called I've been playing. And so we'll get into this a little bit more on tomorrow's Gabbin and Games, I think. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I'm not going to show any of these trailers. This came out yesterday. I loved playing this demo. And I will be picking this up and playing this sometime this week on the stream. I may start going back to doing members-only game streams, but whatever. Who knows? We'll find. It's not important. The point is, it's great. I do want to say, Anna G, thank you so much for the last two super chats. We get ourselves a little puppy. We get ourselves a little rainbow. Thank you so much for that, Anna G. This right here, though, is, yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. And there's two of these games that came out the same week. One's called... this is called Retro Rewind. The other one's called something 99. I like this one leaps and bounds more. It is like managing a mom and pop video store. I love this. This guy sells you porn that you can sell and stuff. It's got a good flow. It's got a good structure. Like every weekend, you know that on the weekend it's going to be more busy. When Halloween's coming up, you have to order more horror movies and shit like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan, so I recommend it. But I'll be playing this soon. They need a blockbuster simulator. I mean, you can make this your own blockbuster. Certainly when it's on PC, which is what it launches as. I'm sure you can mod it relatively easily, or someone else will mod it for you. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of this. It's very relaxing, and in fact, you can buy. This game comes, if you want to buy it in a bundle with Bookshop Simulator, which I also was addicted to, you can get that as well. So, Wayne, I have not played Killer Frequency. I own it. I love the idea of it. I've been wanting to play it for a very, very long time, but I just have not gotten around to it. PG. Member for 12 months, Diet Coke Commanders. Thank you, buddy. When's the next meet and greet? We don't really regularly do meet and greets. I guess the next time I'll be out and about, maybe sometime around Comic-Con. Maybe we can set something up if there's enough people who want to meet in a bar or something. I don't really have a lot of, I don't imagine many people would come. But if you happen to be coming to San Diego for Comic-Con, I'm sure we could set something up that might be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a lot of people, but we could meet for... have lunch together downtown or something. Anna G, highly recommended. Highly recommended. She says, I might get these two games together. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what else we got. Look at this. Threads of Time. This isn't out yet, but it's apparently two brothers grew up obsessed with the Square games, and they made their own game. I just want to show you this trailer real quick. This looks really cool. This is not out yet, but it'll be out soon. I love time travel. I love the variety of sets. It's very good.
to remake history.
So, I mean, it's very Square, old school Square coded, which I think is great. I am super jazzed for this.
Welcome to the end, hero.
So, I don't know if this exists yet anywhere else but Steam. I don't know if Humble Games is publishing it. I don't know if these guys have done anything but this game, but this is sort of... I love it. Again, you got to bring your own creativity,
Welcome
and I hope they will. But I love it when you have people who really grew up obsessed with, like, I grew up obsessed with Raiders Lost Ark and Clash of the Titans. And so I went off and made God of War. I mean, not just me, of course, but the team. But that was the big inspiration for me. With this, it's so clear these guys have a passion for Final Fantasy and, more important, Chrono Trigger. And so I'm like, oh my God, this could be really great. This could be really fucking special. So, and the Final Fantasy logo, you goddamn right. So, can I do a live stream playing the story of Twisted Metal 2012? I would like to, but I don't have a PS3, so I have no way of playing it. But if I acquire a PS3, sure, I wouldn't mind going back and doing that. But anyway, okay, so we don't know when this is out. They just announced it, so okay. I got a phone call right before the show started. I want to let you know. And it was weird because at first I couldn't tell who it was. And it was very garbled on the other end. But eventually I could tell it was a friend of mine. What is that game? It's called Threads of Time. I'll put up the link to the Steam store right now. So anyway, I get this phone call. And I couldn't really tell who it was, but it turned out it was a friend of mine. They are out there almost every night, traveling the highways and byways of the internet superhighway, finding delightful things to talk about. Yep, it's your very best friend and my very best friend. It is time to visit with the Internet Hobo.
Driving down the road, where you headed you just don't know, but in the distance you see insistence, his eyes are all aglow. You will stop, you will look, and why, you just don't know. But my friend, you've just encountered the Internet Hobo.
Here he is, boys. Here's our buddy, the Internet Hobo. What's he bringing today in his little sack of crazy? We'll find out in a second. But first, I do want to say to our good friend and our great supporter, good sir, JSD, thank you, buddy. He has dropped 5 big Jaffe gift memberships to support this very show. And we love you and we appreciate it. And it really does keep the show going. As we get into the Internet Hobo, I do want to remind you, we survive by the grace and goodness of people like Anna G and JSD. And who else do we got today that have kept the show PG and J for you? We got Ashoka Tana. We got Steve Gray. We got Mickey Doe, Film Gamer X, Astro, Wayne TM 2012, Damocles, KP, Daxter Miller, and not for Evba. What? Thank you guys for keeping the show alive and the lights on. We appreciate it, and we hope that the rest of you guys will respond in kind. But now it is time to see what the hell is going on with our friends. Look at this. Do you see this fucking lady right here? Look what this lady did. I'm going to shut up and let you watch this. It's not very long, but it's very cool. Here we go.
full
Okay,
reveal.
here comes part 2 now.
To celebrate the admissions office, the admissions office thinks that I play. To celebrate the release of Resident Evil Requiem, I'm creating
This is the final. Look at this thing.
I'm creating a full-scale animatronic creature from Resident Evil Requiem. Last time I showed you how I built her using cardboard, foam, and a Halloween prop. Now it's time for paint. In the creature's design, it looks like she's been wearing this dress for a long time. So I needed to make this very clean dress look absolutely yuck. First, I cut out some holes, and then for most of them, I added a reverse side of the fabric behind the opening to make it look lined. But they looked too perfect, so I roughed up the edges with a wire brush and some sandpaper. Then I added some staining with my airbrush to simulate dirt and sweat. For the heavier stains, I used spray paint. Finally, I added some dimension using watered down paints, applied with a bottle and sponge. This is the before, and this is how it looks now. With the dress finished, it was time to move on to the creature. I first coated her in a fleshy base color using flexible paints. Then I brought that flat color to life by airbrushing in some blues and pinks. The creature has chains wrapped around one arm and one leg, so I added those in and painted around them to make the skin look bruised and irritated. Then I added the dress, and then painted in the final details. Using the wig I planned to wear as Grace, I cut off some hair and glued it onto her head. This is where she really came to life. In Resident Evil Requiem, you can play as 2 protagonists, and for this build, I will also be cosplaying as one of them, Grace, an FBI intelligence analyst. This was a really quick build, and I mainly used materials I already had in my workshop, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. Can you believe this is mostly just cardboard and foam? She is so creepy, and I'm really scared to meet her in the game. Resident Evil Requiem is available to play on PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam, Switch 2, and more. And I dare you to go check it out now.
Yeah, so she moves a little bit, but, you know, come on. Can you imagine? That lady's got to be fun to spend Halloween with. That's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. Dark Shadowy Plays, thank you so much for being a member for 21 months at the Diet Soda Soldiers. I appreciate that. He says, have you seen Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2022? It's a good time, similar to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. We are, but what do you mean? Do you mean a movie or a game or what? I'm not familiar. I know what Rescue Rangers is, of course, but I don't know. Is it a film or a game? Look at this. You guys see this? Speaking of your AI sloth, here's what you need to be concerned about. I looked it up. This is real. This fucking happened. A dancing robot, and this wasn't in China. This was in California. Look at this. Started dancing and started breaking dishes and they couldn't control it. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? Thank you, Internet Hobo, for that. I haven't seen the movie, but I'll look into it. Requiem, is it overrated? I don't know. I love it. I think it's great. It's not hooking me in the same way the other Resident Evils have in terms of momentum. I don't know if that's because the break between Grace and Leon, even though I absolutely love it. But I'm still planning on finishing it. And every time I go back to it, I love that I'm back playing it. But it may just be that there's so much competition right now compared to when the last Resident Evils came out that it's easy to go, okay, I'll play this instead for a few hours. But I'm loving it, and I have every intention of finishing it. I have not felt that it is overrated. Look at this cosplay. Thank you, Internet Hobo, for sending us this brilliant cosplay of Lara Croft and her butler from Tomb Raider 2. I got nothing to say about it. That's what the Internet Hobo does. He doesn't always bring us stories we can talk about, but he does bring us stories that you need to put your eyeballs on or your brain pan on and take a look and see what's going on. You think Resident Evil Requiem Silver Sky's too short? I mean, you know, I guess, yeah, your mileage will vary. I like games that are short. You know, I like games that last 10 to 12 hours at most, honestly. All right, yeah, V8 says it has really good replay value. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, lock them in the freezer. You goddamn right. It's pretty good, though. It's pretty fucking good. I'm Team Robot, Team AI, says Ashokatana. Yeah, me too. Me fucking too, dude. Thank you so much for that super chat, buddy. Okay, this movie comes out this Friday. Ready or Not, Here I Come. Ready or Not 2. I haven't seen the first one, but I want to. But I wanted to share this with you. This is a theater experience where if you go see it, every time somebody dies in the movie, They get splattered with blood. Here we go. I would watch this like this. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's the best. That's the best. Linear games should not be longer than 10 hours. It overstays its welcome. Yeah, I haven't gotten to the point where it feels like it's overstaying its welcome. I'm really enjoying it so far. But, you know, I used to think this woman was a joke, like a computer or a lady wearing a mask. I didn't know this was real. Mexican actress Lin May before and after a cheap beauty treatment that involved injecting harmful substances such as cooking oil, baby oil, and water into her face. She used to look like this. I know we've all seen this woman out there, but I assumed that this was not real. But holy goddamn cow. That's her, man.
Many considered her a peak symbol of beauty who was aging of her success. It didn't complete. It was never able to repair the damage.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, the prom scene from Carrie, I love both Carries. The new one I actually liked a lot. Really, really good. You know that lady? It's not a Muppet. No, it's not a Muppet. She's real. She looks like a fucking Muppet. I'm with you. Look at that. Advanced Game Boy postbox in Japan. Nothing really to say about it. It's just cool. It's just a Game Boy post office box. You know, whatever. Do with it what you want. And then finally, well, not finally yet. Look at that. Look at the ring. Enjoy the ring. Isn't that a cool ring? You goddamn right it is. Wait, I don't know how it did that. Wait, does it have like a map on the other side? How did you see the keyboard through it? I thought I knew how this worked, but how are you seeing the keyboard through it? I have no clue. I have no clue. What the fuck is going on with this goddamn thing? How the fuck does this work? Do they have a mirror? Or there's got to be a mirror wrapped around the top. Maybe. Something. But yeah, and I love Resident Evil for sure. Think the Matrix, think the holodeck from Star Trek, think about virtual worlds like Ready Player One. How do you think all those sci-fi universes got to that? By developing advanced AI suggestion steps? Yeah. I love AI. I think there's a lot of problems with it, but I love it. And there are a lot of societal problems we have to solve, but I absolutely love it. JSD, thank you so much for the very big super chat over there. The very big super chats all day. See Evil Dead the musical with the kiddos and maybe Tech if you have the chance. It's awesome and funny. Is it an actual musical in the you go to Broadway and see it, or do you mean that it is like on TV or something? Evil Dead. Let me see. It's a comedy rock musical. Okay. I'd love to go fucking see it. Where is it playing right now? Let's see where it is. Is it touring? Is it in where do you go? You can license it. I guess you can't. It's not being done anywhere right now, but cool. I'd see the shit out of that. That sounds great. Sounds great. I love musicals, man. And then as we wrap it up, let's see if any numbers have changed on Crimson Desert. 78 still. I think that dropped one. And then nothing on the PS5 yet. So it's sitting at a 78. My take on it is that I will pass for now. Hopefully it will get a update. I don't know if it will or not. It's kind of hard to imagine. Some of the things that bother me about it are, at least from the reviews, are like the boring fetch quest and stuff. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to fix that or make the time to fix it, but hopefully they'll keep plugging away. It clearly is built on the bones. It's got something really interesting and really cool. But I think it's definitely fallen off my must play list for the moment, unless people play it and rave about it. But I have way too many fucking things to play. Am I streaming tonight? No, I don't plan on buying it. If I stream tonight, it'll be Everwild, or maybe Resident Evil. But if I stream tonight, it will not be that. It would be, where did it go? Let me see if I have this. Everwind. Sorry. It'll be this, if I stream tonight. So And I'm not sure if I'm going to because it's my ex-wife's birthday and I don't know how long we're going to be celebrating. But if I am streaming, it'll be this. And then, of course, I'll be back tomorrow on Locale Crypt at 7 a.m. California time. And I'll definitely be back tomorrow with something, whether it's just a game stream or it is a Gabbin and Games proper. Really depends on how much news there is and how much time there is to put together a show based on the breaking news. But we'll have some stuff to do for sure. Hopefully I'll see you guys live. In the meantime, thank you so much for all the support from you guys today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me talking games. Thank you, Anna G, for keeping this train on the tracks. The top fans of the day in terms of donators and commenters. We got Isabel Star at 10, at 11. Coming in at 10 is Nathan. Number 9, Wayne Twisted Metal 2012. Number 8, KP Projections. Number 7, Daxter Miller. Number 6, our very own Anna G. Number 5, Damocles. Number 4, Steve Gray. Number 3, Mickey Doe. Number 2, Shakatana. And Big Bad, number 1 at the top of the charts. He's getting used to the air up there. Somebody's got to fight him for his throne. We appreciate y'all. We certainly appreciate our number 1, JSD, sitting at the top. Moneybags McGee, thank you, buddy, for that. Thank you for all the support you show. The way of the show. As we wrap it up, we got JSD putting more ducats in the till, saying, Jaffe, stick this in your butthole. Thank you, buddy. TJM gets 1. Nathan gets 1. Vicar Fleur gets 1. Same Girl Same gets 1. And Barag Game Plays gets 1. You guys be well. Thank you very, very much, JSD. Thanks, buddy. Be well, be safe out there, you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.